This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by Lawrence Okolie here in London. Lawrence, new promoter, new weight. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel good, I feel good, feel rested, feel fueled up, so yeah, happy.
What would you say has been the biggest advantage and the biggest factor that you felt moving up to heavyweight now?
I think the main ones that I felt so far is just the ability to eat. The whole fight week I've been able to eat this morning, last night, last lunch, last breakfast, do you know what I mean? So I think that's the main one, so I feel really fueled up. I've been able to rest a lot more as well. Usually fight weeks I have to train, where now I'm just able to just recover from the hard camp I just did.
A lot of people might assume moving up to heavyweight, not a lot of people, some might assume moving up to heavyweight, it's a bit more of a relaxed diet, but I assume, and I guess that's not the case.
No, I think it is, but I'm working on it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think, when I was making cruiserweight and bridgeweight, I had to be extra, what I'm eating, extra, where now it's like, oh, actually, hold on. I will have the extra piece because I can. But then, it's about finding the right balance to go with. Do you know what I mean?
What do we see in your heavyweight debut? What do you know about your opponent?
I think, he's solid. He's a solid guy. Do you know what I mean? He's going to be, 250, 260 pounds, 115 to 118 kilos usually weighs in at. So it's going to be the heaviest guy I've been in there with. He's, good behind the jab. When he feels confident, he's able to let good shots off. So I think he'll start off very confident because, he's a bigger guy and he's going to be thinking to himself, I could go on and pose myself on Lawrence. So it's up to me to show the other side.
You shared rounds with numerous top heavyweights previously. How much will that experience help you now you're moving into the division itself?
I think we have to wait and see on Saturday. I think it does play a factor, but at the same time, I was making cruiserweight. So then I had different advantages to the ones I have now. So I might have been a little bit faster, not as powerful. So it's different. And also with 10-ounce gloves on as well, it's very different sparring and fighting, So all remains to be seen on Saturday.
Is it looking for that explosive finish, or is it rounds that you'd prefer more so to get a feel for the weight?
I think it's always good to get the explosive stoppage. If I could get this fight done in one round, I'll be more than happy. So I think, it goes two ways. When you're in the ring for longer, they also have opportunities to land shots. So you just want to go, get it done, go home.
Heavyweight division, Lawrence, at the minute it's providing unbelievable fights. How far off do you feel you are from facing some of those other challenges, that top 10 in the division?
I think it's really dependent on this fight. I win this fight, anything's possible.
Where do you like to, or where do you think your career goes moving forwards then? Are there any names in particular you think next up, maybe a clash with former GB teammate Fraser Clark?
Yeah, it's not even a name thing for me. It's just how the quickest route to a world title is what I'm looking for. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm highly ranked in the WBC. I was a world champion in the bridgerweight, world champion cruiserweight. So the aim for me is to become a freeweight world champion. However I get there is however I get there.
Who do you feel like you've been most impressed with? Certainly, say, this last year, 18 months, when we've been seeing all of these heavyweight fights being made, who's impressed you the most?
Probably Dan, because if you look at his run of form, it's been, Big Baby Miller, Hrgovic, Anthony Joshua. Do you know what I mean? These are like three top quality heavyweights that he's been in there with and beaten and thugged it out and stopped two of them, or stopped all three of them actually, to be fair. So he's on a great run of form.
Could be mistaken, but I believe you two have shared rounds previously as well. What can you reflect on from that?
The main things is that Dan's obviously a very good, a good boxer, puncher. Do you know what I mean? So, yes, it's one of those ones. But there's ways. But as I said, sparring and fighting is two different things. On the day, you're wearing 10 ounces, they're wearing 10, and it's 100% intent both ways. So it's hard for me to really look at sparring and say, what there is to take from it.
I'm interested to know, Lawrence, I know you got to wait till Saturday comes around, but obviously when you was a cruiserweight and bridgerweight, you had the advantage in terms of your reach. You was usually a bigger guy than the others. Do you feel like you lose that a little bit now?
Yeah, 100%. Now I'm not the heavier guy. Now I might not be the bigger puncher. I might not, be the stronger guy. So I have to show different attributes. I think I have got attributes that maybe get lost on the fact that I'm bigger and stronger than most cruiserweights or bridgerweights. So I'm going to have to show them, otherwise I'm not going to win these fights. So I'm on it.
Fights I do want to get your thoughts on before we wrap this up. The rematch between Usyk and Fury, what do you think happens?
The rematch, I think Fury's going to win. I think the first fight was so close, but I think Fury's got more adapting he can do as opposed to Uzyk's always consistent, always, matter of fact. So if he's able to, I don't think he's going to be able to climb another level. I think he's just always at A, always at A. But I think Fury might just be able to get to A+ on the day. That's my thoughts.
Two men who have been on terrific runs of form. One we spoke about earlier, Daniel Dubois, Joseph Parker, Feb 22nd. How do you see it playing out?
That's a great fight, and it's another one of those ones that it's a risky fight for Dan. I think we've seen Parker in there with Zhang, we've seen him in there with Wilder, who are two massive punchers, and he's been able to negate them and get points decisions over both of them. So it's a tough one. I think that if Dan does get on top of him and overwhelms him with power punch, and he could get a stoppage, but if he's not careful, the rounds could slip away, and Parker could win a decision. However, Parker has gained a lot of size over the last few months, so I don't know if that's going to slow him down, and then he'll be in the pocket too much. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Two previous fights which have just happened, get your thoughts on again. Somebody you used to train with, somebody you previously fought, Chris Billam-smith, fell short against Ramirez. As tough as nails as he's always shown, but what did you make of that fight?
He, it was what it was, isn't it? He lost a boxing match. He's had a great year and a half. Do you know what I mean? He's been world champion, defended it a number of times, probably made some good money. So, all the best to him in his next endeavours.
If an opportunity arose, if say he was to decide to continue to move up, maybe to heavyweight.
I don't see it happening personally. It's not one that I really look at or look for. I think it'll be great. Say I was Bridgerweight and he was Bridgerweight, yeah, but I can't see that fight happening.
And one more to get your thoughts on this past weekend, the former GB campmate Yafai with a stunning and dominant performance against Sonny Edwards. What did you make of what was seen as a breakout performance from him?
Yeah, no, it was a great performance. I think that's what he's done since the 2016 Olympics. Consistent pressure, good boxing ability, and just overwhelming people, and that's exactly what happened on the day. I think obviously there's been a lot with Sonny, maybe wanting to retire or whatever else. But as much as I love Sonny, you can't take away from what Galal actually did on the day. So yeah, it was a great performance.
I just want to get your thoughts on that, Lawrence. I'm sure you saw those comments. I think it was in the second round when he went back to his corner and said he didn't want to be in there. What do you make of that? And if you're in that position, is that on the team to maybe think we've got to pull you out if you're saying something like that?
Yeah, I think God willing, I'm never in that position. But I think obviously pride and so on and so forth. But we're in a business where you can legally do serious damage to each other. So you do want to be 100% in it. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to push and get the win. So, because God forbid if something crazy had happened in the next round, we'd all be looking back at that footage very differently, So, yeah, and then also, I think sometimes you've got to threaten the fighter. You don't want to be in it. Okay, I'm gonna throw in the towel just fast, and then let them. If they want it, then they go, no, I was, or they say yeah. So then you got to at least call their bluff and see. But anyway.
Well, Lawrence, listen, I appreciate your time. Good luck on Saturday. It's good to see you back.
Thank you.